You ever watch someone take a swing at a person who just refuses to flinch? That's exactly what's been happening between two former bandmates, and the internet can't stop talking about it. According to multiple reports, Liam Payne has made several comments about his time in One Direction that raised more than a few eyebrows, but one person in particular has remained completely silent. And that silence, it's louder than any clapback ever could be. Let's rewind. A few months ago, Liam sat down for an interview that quickly went viral, not because of a new song or a tour announcement, but because of what he said about the biggest boy band on the planet. Sources claim he opened up about feeling like the band was built around another member. He didn't name names at first, but everyone knew. The internet detectives went to work immediately. And here's where it gets interesting. While fans expected some kind of response, some kind of drama, one person decided to take the high road so hard it almost looked like he was invisible. Now, who are we talking about? Harry Styles. Yep, the same Harry Styles who sells out arenas in minutes, who won Grammys, who basically became the king of cool without even trying. According to reports, when Liam's comments started making rounds, Harry was asked about it exactly 0 times in official interviews, because his team reportedly shut down those questions before they could even be asked. But here's the thing, the silence itself became the story, and that's where we need to dig deeper. Why would someone stay quiet when another person is essentially rewriting history? Is it strategy? Is it kindness? Or is it something else entirely? Let me give you my honest take as someone who's watched this industry for years. Staying silent is often the most powerful move you can make. But don't just take my word for it. Let's look at what Liam actually said, because not everything is as black and white as the headlines make it seem. During a podcast appearance, Liam allegedly mentioned that there were many stories about his time in the band that he couldn't share. He also talked about feeling frustrated with the way things were structured. According to sources close to the situation, he never directly attacked Harry, but the implication was there. Fans noticed that Liam said the band originally felt like it was built around another member's success, and while he didn't say Harry's name, the timeline and context made it pretty obvious. Now here's where the curiosity gap opens wide. Why would Liam say this years after the band went on hiatus? What changed? Some speculate it was about promoting his own music. Others think it was genuine frustration finally bubbling over. But here's what nobody's talking about. Harry's silence might actually be the smartest career move in modern pop history. Think about it. Every time you respond to criticism, you give it oxygen. You make it a conversation. But when you say nothing, the other person ends up talking to a wall. And that's exactly what happened. Let me share a quick personal opinion here. I've seen countless celebrities destroy their own reputations by firing back at every little comment. It's exhausting to watch, and honestly, it makes them look insecure. Harry Styles, whether you love him or not, has built a brand around being unbothered. He wears funky clothes, dances like nobody's watching, and somehow manages to stay out of drama, even when drama knocks on his door. That's not an accident. That's intentional image management, and frankly, it's brilliant. But wait, there's another layer to this. According to reports, the rest of the One Direction members also stayed mostly quiet. Niall Horan, Louis Tomlinson, and even Zayn Malik, who's had his own public battles, didn't jump into the fray. So why is everyone focusing on Harry? Simple, because he's the biggest star of the group now. According to industry analysts, Harry's solo career has eclipsed pretty much everyone else's, and that means every move he makes gets magnified. When you're at the top, people expect you to defend your crown, but Harry did the opposite. He just kept living his life. And here's where it gets really interesting. A few weeks after Liam's comments went viral, Harry was spotted at a recording studio in London. Paparazzi asked him about the band, and according to eyewitness accounts, he just smiled and walked away. No comment, no side-eye, no passive-aggressive tweet, nothing. That single moment, that smile, spawned hundreds of think pieces, TikTok videos, and Twitter threads. The silence became louder than any diss track ever recorded. Now let's talk about what Liam said more recently, because this is where the story takes another turn. In a later interview, Liam apparently clarified that he didn't mean any harm. He said he loves the band and loves his former bandmates. But here's the thing about clarification interviews. They often make things worse. According to media experts, when you clarify too much, people start to think you're backtracking. And that's exactly what happened. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from Liam throws shade to Liam regrets throwing shade. Meanwhile, Harry was posting pictures of himself on vacation. I'm serious, if the guy was literally eating pasta in Italy while the internet was on fire. That right there is a masterclass in handling public criticism. Do nothing, say nothing. Let the storm pass. And you know what? It worked. Within 2 weeks, the story had died down. People moved on to the next celebrity drama. But the lesson remains. Silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the ultimate power move. But let me play devil's advocate for a second. Some fans have argued that Harry's silence is actually disrespectful. They say that if someone you spent years with is clearly hurting or frustrated, the least you could do is acknowledge it. And I get that, I really do. There is something to be said for addressing conflict head-on, but here's my counterpoint. We don't know what happens behind closed doors. According to insiders, the former band members still have a group chat. They still check in on each other. Just because Harry didn't post a public statement doesn't mean he didn't reach out privately. And honestly, that's how mature adults handle things. Not everything needs to be a Netflix documentary. Now, here's a detail most people missed. During one of Liam's interviews, he said something fascinating. He mentioned that the band's formation on The X Factor was chaotic, and that not everyone was treated equally. According to sources working on the show, that's actually true. Reality competition shows are notorious for playing favorites. So when Liam says the band was built around another member's success, he might not be throwing shade. He might just be stating a fact. But facts without context can sound like attacks, and that's where the misunderstanding began. So where does that leave us? Harry stayed silent, Liam spoke his truth, and the fans, they're still choosing sides like it's 2012 all over again. But here's my final thought, and I want you to really sit with this. In a world where everyone is encouraged to speak their mind, maybe the bravest thing you can do is choose your words carefully, or choose not to speak at all. Harry didn't win the argument because there was never an argument to win. He just refused to play the game. And sometimes refusing to play is how you win. According to multiple public relations experts, Harry's team likely advised him to stay quiet from day one, and that advice probably sounded something like this. Don't engage, don't explain, don't complain. 3 simple rules that have carried him through every controversy, every breakup rumor, and every headline. Meanwhile, Liam's team might have taken a different approach, one that involved more transparency, more interviews, more setting the straight record. Neither approach is wrong, they're just different, but only one of them kept the headlines positive. Let me leave you with this. The next time someone says something about you that isn't entirely fair, remember Harry Styles eating pasta in Italy while the internet lost its mind. Remember that smile when the paparazzi asked him a loaded question. Remember that you don't owe anyone a reaction. Your peace is worth more than a viral moment. And honestly, that's not just good advice for celebrities. That's good advice for all of us. So here's the real story behind why Harry Styles stayed silent when Liam Payne criticized One Direction. It wasn't fear, it wasn't arrogance, it wasn't even strategy, at least not entirely. According to people who know him, it was simply Harry being Harry, unbothered, unfazed, and unbelievably smart about protecting his own energy. And you know what? I respect that. We could all learn a 2 or 3 from a man who knows when to talk and when to just let the silence do the talking. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If this video made you think, drop a comment about whether you'd stay silent or fire back. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that actually make you think. Now go enjoy your day and maybe take a page from Harry's book. Sometimes the best response is no response at all.